Well, hello there, YouTube. Here's another Dodo Victorinox Swiss Army knife video. Wanted to show you my newest addition to my little fledgling collection here. So what I have is my two saws that I have that are 3 layers. The one on the bottom is the Hiker. Got this guy for Christmas last year, or this year, I guess. And he was, I don't know, $27, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Brand new, right out of the box. You guys already know what features it comes with. I didn't pull it all out, but that's pretty much him. 27 bucks. Great knife. Loved it. Took it camping with the boys a couple weekends ago, and it was great. And so much so that I realized this saw is worth its weight, especially for camping type events. So I went on our favorite eBay, and I picked up this guy. And I paid $9.50 for him. Came with a little lanyard, not this one, a nicer one. I gave it to my boy. And it also came with a leather pouch. Gave that to my son as well. But this guy looks like he's in pretty decent shape. As far as I can tell, the knife blades are original. There was absolutely no sharpening on the small one. Looks like the bigger one may have been run through a V, one of those V sharpeners, maybe once or twice. A little bit of staining on the can opener, I don't know if you can see that or not, right on the tip there. But the saw works great. Same saw, of course, as the Hiker. This one I think is the Camper, if I have my models right. He also comes with an awl as well. But I just wanted to show that these knives are really a great add. Now, for my liking, these are a little bit too thick for carrying in my pocket, just because of the 3 layers. It's a little bit too much. And so my preference, I typically go with like the Wader or the Bantam or something like that. But this is a good guy to have in your coat pocket if it's, kind of winter time, or in your backpack if you're out there hiking around with your little backpack or whatever. Or maybe hanging off of a a tool pouch or one of those leather type. Now this guy, he's a worker, okay? So you can see he's a little bit dirty. That's because we cut down a pine tree with this thing. Can you believe it? It wasn't a big pine tree. It was only about maybe 5 inches in diameter. So much so that the blade wouldn't go all the way through, But we cut him down. It was more of an experiment. And in fact, what we did is we actually bent the saw a little bit. You'll see the saw is not sitting exactly right anymore. We tried to bend it back best as we could. But you know what? This little guy did the job, and he did a great job. And so my intention is I'm going to start carrying him when I go, camping with the boys. I do need to give him a little cleanup. You can see he's quite dirty right now. Now this other one, this is, like I said, this is the one that I got brand new. He has also been used for camping type events. I used him a couple of weekends ago before I got the Camper, and he did just fine. Ooh, gotta watch my fingers here. I'm actually a right-handed person, so doing this with my left-handed is not the easiest thing for me. But I really do love these knives. They're a great fit in the hand. Very comfortable, good size. I actually like this better in the hand as compared to as compared to a Tinker, which is just a little bit narrower, you see, a little bit narrower. But to me, I've got decent sized hands, so this one actually feels a little bit better. Truth be known, the Hiker, is more comfortable as compared to this one with the corkscrew. The corkscrew tends to dig in my hand just a smidge. It's not terrible. It's not the end of the world, but you do feel it more than you do with the straight side. And so if I was to get another one, I'd probably go for this guy. But for $9, I couldn't pass this guy up. And so what I'd like to do, like I said, is I've got normally I carry a Wader in my pocket. That's just kind of all I need for work. When I'm in the office. I've also got a Bantam on my keychain. I don't have my keychain here to show you. I might make an EDC video on that. And then I do like the Tinker if I'm going out and about to where I will be away from home, but not in the woods. If I think I'm going to be out in the woods, then one of these two is going to be my preference, just because having that saw is just a wonderful addition. You know, as far as the scales go, you can see this older one has some scratches and dirt. I tried to clean it up using one of those, they're not abrasive, what are those called? Like a Mr. Clean pad. I'm not sure what the name of it is for, Magic Eraser or something. And I got most of the dirt off. You know, I know some guys polish these things with extremely fine grit sandpaper. I suppose you could do that. Like I said, this guy's a worker, so I'm not all that worried about it. This one is newer, and so he's only got a little bit of scratches. He's only spent a little bit of time in my pocket. But you know, I'm not one of these guys that keeps these pristine. To me, these are tools. I try to keep them nice, that's for sure. But I don't need them to be absolutely showpieces. That's not the intent. Tinker is also looking half decent. This one has spent a couple of years in my car, you know, kind of bouncing around the glove box and what have you, but he's still in pretty good shape. You know, to me, the part that matters is that I have a sharp blade, you know, and all of these have extremely sharp blades. The awls, I've used all of these awls, and they're all fabulous, of course, as most Swiss Army knives are. But yeah, these are really, really good tools. Now, the other one I want to show you, you've seen this one before. This is my my other eBay find. This is a nylon scale. I think this is called the Sportsman. It's basically just like the Tinker, except it has the corkscrew. And actually, I take that back. It also has a nail file. Now, this guy, he's a little bit smaller, a little more convenient to carry. You know, in fact, I've actually toyed about putting him on my keychain instead of the Bantam, since you do have a little more capability. You know, you got the awl, you got the corkscrew, which I don't really care. The nail file is extremely good. That's one thing I do find that I'm missing on my current carry. This nail file is pretty nice. Although I do have another cheapo pocket knife in my car, and so I use the nail file on that if I need to. And the truth is, I also have a cheapo can opener in my car too. It's on that other relatively low cost pocket knife. I just keep it around. But this guy is a great carry as well. But honestly, given the choice for me, if I'm going out in the woods and I'm going to be out there messing around with the Boy Scouts or whatever, it's either going to be the camper. That one's nice. Obviously, if you're drinking or something, that's great. With the Boy Scouts, that's not so much of an issue. Or preferably the hiker. Although I promised my son that I'm going to give him the hiker as soon as he gets his totem chip from the Boy Scouts. So this one's already spoken for. So he's going to get that one. I'm going to carry this this worker camper, and then these other two we'll have to see. They may be for my younger son, or I might just keep them around. You know, the nice thing is you can never have enough Swiss Army knives. Really is true what people say. Once you buy one, they tend to multiply. I've found that the hunt for these things is just as much fun as owning them. And it doesn't matter if it's, you know, a relatively inexpensive guy like this. I bought him with my Bantam and my waiter for $12. So, you know, they're basically $4 a pop. Great knives, you know, and this one is not 100% perfect. It's got some scratches. It's got a little bit of corrosion on the scale, on the liners. But again, for me, these are workers, you know. And so when I do start carrying this guy, he's going to be a working type knife. So if he gets a little bit of corroded, you know, I'll try to clean it from time to time, but I'm not going to get nutty about it. He needs to pull his own weight, you know. But anyway, I wanted to show you this, a little Swiss Army knife collection. Extremely nice knives. You can't go wrong. Highly recommend buying a new one. Highly recommend buying a used one. They're all really good knives. And I've grown accustomed to carrying one in my pocket. Even though I won't lie to you, I don't use it every single day. I do use it sometimes for lunch. In fact, I routinely use my pocket knives for eating food. As long as you keep them clean, a little bit of soap and water, you know, that's pretty much all you need. They are wonderful, wonderful tools to have. I haven't yet gotten into the habit of tossing them into my glove box. I need to start doing that, especially now that I have enough to make that happen. But I do like every morning just kind of grabbing one, sticking it in my pocket, especially when we take a special trip. Then you can decide which one of these is the better choice. So can't say enough about them. Highly recommend them. They are collector pieces for some people, but for me, these are all workers. I have seen some that come up for sale on eBay that are extremely rough shape, but even those go for what I think is a decent price. And I think it's because people know that fundamentally they do keep their value, and even if they're not spick and span and shiny and bright, they can still serve a function. So like I said, I can't say enough about these things. They're extremely useful, and I highly recommend them to anyone that's looking for a relatively low cost, non-offensive EDC that gives you a little bit of capability to do some basic, routine, normal tasks. Now, are you going to fight off a bear with these? I suppose you could try. Not going to work very well for you. But for the normal guy that's just working in a suburban, urban type environment, you need something that's not going to give people, second thoughts or pause or anything like that. You can't go wrong. And I know that these things come in different colors. I frankly prefer the red. It's iconic. It's classic. People see these things and they don't give it a second thought. And that's because they have such good, I think honestly a lot of people grew up with these things. And so they have good memories of them from when they were children. And, I hope that Victorinox keeps that going into the future. All right. Thank you, YouTube. I'm going to sign off.